And I said, okay, cool. That's totally cool. I'm just telling you what it's like for me. What's up, Tim again, and I'm here to improve your life. I'm very happy with the growth of the channel this month, so thank you for checking out the videos. Please do, whenever you can, tell friends about it, and then if you can also hit the like button or even share it, hit that subscribe button. All that stuff really, really helps the channel to grow. First thing is first, and what I want to do is I want to just say that we are going to focus on really, really getting over crap, getting over things that are whack in our lives. And this video is going to kind of go all over the place. So, what we're working on here is getting things done and keeping it simple. Getting things done and keeping it simple. What I mean by keeping it simple is not assuming you're going to be awesome when you first start something. When you first start anything, you're going to have to go through a painful growth phase. It's going to hurt because you're going to be terrible, but at the same time, you're going to grow so much. That should make the pain manageable to some degree, because when you start to get good at things, your growth really slows down. But when you are brand new to something, that's when most of the major growth occurs. So, knowing that, you can really cut out a lot of the thoughts and ideas and insecurities that you may have around your activity by just keeping it simple and just knowing you're just there just to try to get better. That's really it. Just get in there and get it done. That's what me doing this channel is really teaching me. It's truly a metaphor for this channel, because I'm doing these videos and I do not get a lot of views on these. I keep showing up and I keep doing more and more videos and I keep trying to make them better. And when I say that I'm trying, I'm really writing out my ideas and thinking about what people would like to hear, what would add value to their lives, and then giving it to them. That's what I want to do. I really love doing this, and I have a positive attitude when I put together my writing. And that's why I think that it's growing. I think that this makes sense. I think it's helpful. I used to work as an art teacher, and when I taught a bunch of different art classes, but I taught ceramics as one of them. And some of the ceramics class was focused on wheel throwing. If you've ever seen the movie Ghost, there's that scene where they're on the wheel. I would teach some of that. And there's a thing where you're going to be sharp. You're going to be sharp and you're going to be on point. Your skills are going to be very crisp. And when you're throwing on the wheel, you can get out of practice. You can be rusty. So you can get rusty. And I was working with this lady. She was one of my colleagues. And I was telling her, I was saying, hey, I know you haven't thrown in a while, so, it's just going to take some time to get back into throwing shape. And she goes, I never get rusty. My skills are always tight, and I never get out of throwing shape. And I was like, okay, I'm just telling you what happens to me. And I could totally see how she reacted, so I let it go. The next week, she approaches me and she goes, hey, I just wanted to say I was a little bit short and kind of like rude about your comment about throwing shape, and I was just trying to, I don't know, I guess you were just trying to encourage me. And yeah, and I was just like, no, it's totally cool. Totally cool. But that's what the point is. It's all about being in throwing shape, and being okay with sucking. You got to get over being bad at things and embrace the idea of just getting better. Just getting better. You're going to be so low on the totem pole that you're going to have to that's like this little fraction of improvement, that's what you get. That's what you want. And you have to become accustomed to the level of results that come from where you are right now. You're not looking to get onto the moon. You're just looking to get this craft to fly. I'm not trying to get to the moon. People have been looking at trying to get to the moon forever, but people didn't start making spaceships. They started making planes. They were doing balloons. They were doing all sorts of blimps and things, hang gliders, way before they got to space travel. So you can't be looking way off into the distance at like what you're trying to do. You've got to start and live at your own level. If you can run 3 miles in 39 minutes, the next month maybe you run it at 38 minutes and 22 seconds. That's a big chunk of time. That's like 48 seconds off. If you take 48 seconds off your 3 miler, man, you're moving. You're getting real improvement. So you gotta just be happy with those kind of results. You can't be like, oh, I don't run a 3 miler as fast as a Kenyan. I'm not a 5K monster. It's not what you do. That's improvement, and that improvement needs to be appreciated as something. I'm not saying it's time to celebrate, but it's that achievement, and that achievement ain't nothing. It's something, and it should be appreciated as such. You have to be where you are now and work from your current place and do what you can to do more and move forward from this point. You have to develop an appropriate expectation for what your results should be and the type of feedback responses you should get. When you have like an appropriate expectation for what the results are going to look like, then that makes everything easier to manage. Because although nobody said improving yourself was going to be easy, it does not have to be hard. When you do the activity regularly, then you start to really understand what good is and what bad is. When you are not consistent, then your gauge for what an appropriate expectation for the outcome of whatever your activity is, it gets off. It's not dialed in. If you do, like when I do stand up a lot, I have an idea of how well I'm doing, and it's a much more accurate idea and assessment than when I am getting up once, twice a week. You get up every single day, multiple times a day, you know what is working, and you know how well you're doing. So when you focus on doing what you're trying to do, and you have an understanding of how it's supposed to go, you don't have to think about everything else that's happening, because you kind of know what you're doing. If you work on your kata in karate, the Karate Kid, he would always do these katas and stuff, Daniel-san. If you really, really work on your kata and you confidently know that you're good, you know that you are good at this kata, you got it down pat, then you don't really need to trip on how you look while you're doing it. You know you look good. You know that once you put on that cool outfit that you got for the tournament to do your kata in whatever exhibition you're doing, you know that you're looking good. You're like, man, I look extra fly. I got this thing out of the Black Belt magazine, and you're ready to rock and roll. And you don't have to trip on everything else that's going on. If you know how to shoot a free throw when you're playing basketball and then the game is on the line and everybody's like waving the foam fingers, you don't have to worry about your technique. You know how to shoot the free throw. You just focus on shooting the free throw. So that's really helpful. Most of what you're doing must be objectively taken into consideration by you first. So you do your thing, and if you're really objective about your process and you're really giving yourself everything that you need to do, and you're on point about your stuff, when you do that and you hold yourself to high standards, then you develop this deep level of self-respect and confidence and unfuckwitability, because you know that what you did the very best that you could do. When you're doing that stuff and you're objective about it and you're like, man, nah, like you'll finish, you'll get off stage and be like, I don't feel good about that. I don't feel good about that. When you get off stage like that, when you get out of your pursuit with that attitude, man, that's great. That's where you need to be, because you hold yourself to those really high standards, and then you don't have to be tripping because you're holding yourself to the highest standards. Nobody's holding you to higher standards than that. That's what you want. Now, there's already a lot of great information available to you. There's already a lot of great information available to you about what you must do to raise your level, to get to the next level. It's right in front of you. It's all that you've already achieved. Everything you've already achieved is a guideline. And if you would become an objective observer of what you've already done in your own work, you would see exactly what you can do and what you may need to do to raise your standards. Because if you've already achieved that, then you can see where it can be better. Now remember this, some of the things that you've already achieved were you at your best, and you may not even be at that point right now. You may be behind that point where you know you need to get better then. So it's not necessarily going to be easy, like I said, but you can get it. So look at what you've already done as a benchmark, and then use that as a scaffolding to build off of, and allowing yourself to be better by observing yourself and working on your own swag. You'll start flourishing if you focus on doing everything in your power to grow. Look at what you've already achieved, go from there, and you're going to go to the moon. You're going to take it to the moon, take it to the stars. All right, so that was a little here and a little there with that video. Remember that you got to embrace the fact that you're not going to be awesome and just focus on getting better. Take pride and take the compliment when you improve. Take the compliment. Develop appropriate expectations for what your results should be. Don't get it all twisted. And be objective about it. Raise your standards. Hold yourself to a high standard by being objective. And look at what you've already achieved as a benchmark for what can be improved upon and where to go. And that is our video log. I hope you enjoy it. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And write a comment in the comment section for what you'd like me to talk about, and I will go ahead and I will make a video on that topic for you. Thank you very much. Peace.